Hey Dumplies, it's Dave Desai. Today I want to talk about Proof and it possibly being their last album, as well as talking about BTS's military status. I also want to get into the large debate around BTS skin color changes in photos that sparked after recent photos were posted. So, hate it or not, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on, grab your dumpling, tea spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. BTS's skin color is something that a lot of people debate about, but not just specifically BTS, but all of K-pop. So Korean culture and a lot of Asian culture, lighter skin is seen as a sign of wealth, as you wouldn't be out in the sun working, or you have a job that requires you to be at home. Given a lot of jobs now, you can work from home, and there has been a decent cultural shift. I don't know if this is still the specific reason lighter skin is seen as better in Asian countries. Also, in places like Korea, if you're white as paper, you're seen as more attractive. Although there is a whole debate as to whether that means if you're black in Asian places, will you be seen as poor and that stuff. That's something I don't entirely know. In America, having too light, like pale skin, you'll get bullied for that. And of course, having darker skin in America, you'll get racist comments. In America, they prefer tan skin. We see it as this person goes on vacation a lot and they're wealthy. So I do want you to keep that in mind as we are talking about this. It does seem like there are underlying preferences with every country, and maybe there shouldn't be, right? There has been this long-standing debate on lighter skin in Korea, and a lot of, if not most of Korean skincare products carry some sort of light skin bleaching. A lot of that is removed now or covered up by the packaging saying brightening. But just understand that this is not BTS who started the quote-unquote trend, if you will, and it's not their fault if they choose to participate or their team chooses to participate, because the team could probably believe that they can sell more whatever to a Korean audience if BTS looked paler, which is probably not true, but maybe what they're thinking, who knows, just a theory. So what happened? BTS released their brand new family portraits, which are compared to Christmas cards that other celebrities would release of their family or whatever. BTS releases them every year around this time as kind of a celebration for their anniversary. They've done this since 2014. The older pictures and family portraits were brought up to compare to this new one. And they noticed that BTS's skin looked a lot more real back then, like most real people. They had some color, and so they compared the skin that they noticed the newer photos to say that they were so unbelievably pale. And it's one thing if they naturally appear that way, but armies believe that if you compare their videos and things, you'll see that BTS isn't that pale. Some even say that they don't look human. Armies online took the photos and re-edited them to add more saturation and change their skin color to something that they felt was a bit more natural looking. I will, in defense of the editors, say that while BTS definitely normally isn't that pale, they're usually also not that tan. I would say it's probably something more in the middle. Studio lights do tend to wash people out a lot, and I can't say for sure if these photos were edited as opposed to maybe they just had really strong studio lights, especially Asians who may already naturally be on the paler side due to the previously mentioned skincare products. Asians, including myself, tend to have less prominent features like less prominent nose bridges and things like that, and of course sometimes smaller eyes. So this is why K-pop idols wear eyeshadow on stage, because otherwise their face will be washed out by the lights, especially if they're paler. They might not even have a face in front of the studio lights. I look a bit paler in these lights I have in front of me now compared to how I look naturally, and I don't color correct these videos or anything like that. So naturally, I do believe BTS in photos could reel on the paler side, but probably not that pale. But definitely curious to hear your debate on the skin color changing thing. Do you think lightening the skin is an underlying racist thing, if they did lighten BTS, or just maybe a cultural preference? This is more of a heavier topic, but since when do we stray away from heavy topics here? There's been a long debate online over skin color, and that's unfortunate, right? I think people should be loved with whatever tone they're born with. There's other debates involving BTS that they kind of got swept in with. After BTS visited the White House, a debate resurfaced that I felt was answered and resolved, but people had further opinions. This is the military exemption. So what I believe happened, just to sum it up quickly, is that the Korean lawmakers were supposed to figure out a law to exempt BTS from the military. But some TV shows and people talked about how a law needed 6 months to enact. I don't know how true this is, but if true, it's already June, meaning since there has not been an official announcement by the government, even if the law were to pass and they were to announce an exemption for BTS next week, Jin would not get exempt, but maybe the rest of the members would be. But that was just my theory. We still don't know 100%, but there definitely is some urgency with this matter, and the fact that they're not doing anything is a bit concerning and a bit telling that maybe nothing will happen. With BTS visiting the White House and becoming not only a Korean ambassador, but an ambassador for Asian equality, while they can't talk about Asian American hate because they're not American, they can talk about Asian hate in the industry and inclusivity in the industry, which Biden can enact laws to further help Asians be represented correctly in media. And obviously, this is not a small feat, and nothing nothing to dismiss. So there became a debate as to, since BTS has done all this and what people have said is more than what athletes have done, they should get a full exemption to the military. But for some reason, this seems to not be a priority for the Korean government to hurry this up. People were also debating online as to what an anthology album means. I will be reacting to the new songs on my Patreon when it comes out, so if you would like to join me there and react with me, link below. Anywho, the fact that BTS is releasing this big compilation of songs and their greatest hits, the question is why? This year would mark their 9th anniversary, which 9 years doesn't necessarily require a celebration. I can understand 5, maybe 7, and definitely 10 years, but seeing that it's 9 years and also seeing the talks of the military status on the news, people have assumed that this was BTS's way of giving one last hurrah before disbanding and leaving to go to the military. While BTS can enlist in the military, I want to say first and foremost, I don't think they'll leave the industry after. Could this be BTS's last album? If they are enlisting, then yes, but not forever. Maybe just the last album for a few years. A lot of fans are so worried about this, and there's a lot of comments that are talking about how they're so sad and this is BTS's last album. But I just don't think we should jump the gun there just yet, and maybe just enjoy what they have created for us now and what they're excited to share for us now. There's like several theories that BTS is creating more Korean songs to kind of petition for that exemption, but also several TikTok videos that are discussing this being the last comeback with Jin, or that they'll love it if BTS could disband so that each member can rest. While I think BTS should rest, I don't think they should leave the industry entirely or choose to retire. I think not working is a dream for a lot of people, and obviously I understand that, and no one likes to work, but in BTS's position, having one of the most important, fun, and amazing jobs in their opinion, meaning that they think that their job is all of those things. And while I agree, and most people agree, that their job is amazing, I personally wouldn't find their job fun for obvious reasons. And I think most of us wouldn't. We'd be exhausted. So we don't understand how they feel, but we have heard them talk about how their biggest fear is when they physically aren't able to do this anymore. Meaning if they could have it their way, they would never retire, and if they're 80 and still be physically fit enough to perform, they would prefer to do that. So us preferring them to rest is not anything they want to do. And if they did want to rest, they'd simply apply to rest. They did that a couple of times, and Big Hit has not denied them time to themselves and a break. I do think Jin might be scared or nervous to possibly enlist, but I think he could be happy with it. I think it's a beautiful change of pace for him and a chance for him to do something that he's never done before, and a chance for him to feel normal. When you're out in training and out with your military army colleagues, there is no I am a super famous world star. You're all equal. You all eat the same either disgusting or delicious food. You all shower naked together. You all sleep in the same maybe uncomfortable bunker, and this is a chance for Jin to feel normal. I partly don't think the boys should be deprived of this. Obviously, I've stated my opinion to not want them to enlist, but I do have reason to believe they may not get this exemption, and if they don't, I am happy for them to experience something new. I won't be upset or more upset should they not get exempted. But what do you think? Do you think this is BTS's last album or last comeback with Jin? Or do you think BTS will be heading to the military and Korea has denied their exemption given the long time no update? If you do know Korean law a bit better, do you think BTS still has a shot at exemption? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my videos for more videos, link down below. Thank you for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.